and I need to get a job. He's like, yes, I don't think that anybody that you can import can do what I'm doing in scrims right now. And I think that I am better than all of these bottom half top laners that are in the league. So, you know, the honesty, he has drive. He knows what he wants. He's like, I'm waking up, loving it every day. All right, now we got the, I just like these big moments, you know, where there's a lot of pressure and a lot of tension.
Yeah.
Because he's going against Photon. While it is Dignitas, it's the last place team. They haven't won a series. Photon is, you know, a very decent top laner here. He is often considered the best player on the team in a lot of the games.
FBI,
sometimes, you know, you had the FBI Senna game and the Ignar, you know, Alistar game and stuff. But in general, Photon performs quite well, you know, for Dignitas. And so I do like that they're investing already in Surdy here with the draft.
Yeah.
Give him his first pick, Rumble. Say, okay, let's see what you've got.
He's in the pressure seat because this is the playoff race, the playoff bubble, as it were. But they're locking in Rumble first pick for Surdy, trying to get him that power pick early on. Let's see how Dignitas wants to react if they go for an early top lane counter pick, or if they want to lock in something more standard in the bot lane, expecting Ashe to be paired with the Seraphine, as that will be what FBI and Ignar can pilot now.
Yeah, you don't need to rush into top lane counter picks because you could just play, you know, Gallia or Ornn or whatever as well into the Rumble. And why not invest in the hottest duo of the current meta? I feel like Ashe and Seraphine here. You know, Karma's already banned out and Varus was banned out, so you know, I'm definitely a huge fan of this combo. I'm such a fan that I want it to get nerfed.
I feel like that's a hater, Kobe.
Yeah, but we position ourselves as fans.
Sure. Yeah,
you give
caster.
them more of a spotlight. You talk about them a lot. So you're like, hey, they're really
Hey, Freak, have you seen how good Ashe and Seraphine look together? Yeah, exactly.
Oftentimes, too, you know, we just saw Ashe Seraphine with an Ornn, Ashe Seraphine with lots of these team fight combos. Getting a very big front line is critical as well. They're going to, looks like, opt for the Skarner here into the Xin, who is always interesting.
No, they pivot. It's
just
Ornn
because Xin is oftentimes used as a counter pick into it. And we did mention the Ornn previously as we were talking about Ashe and Seraphine, and it looks like they're going to go with the same formula. I mean, I talked about this multiple times, but after Team Liquid do it, you know, Spawn was literally like, yeah, I mean, these are our best champions, and so we didn't even have to do much. So they've got the Ashe, they've got the Seraphine, they have the Ornn. Then you look for, you know, what Team Liquid did it, they were doing a lot of Yone games with it. Palafox could do that because, you know, he's often been, you know, one of those melee mid lane players and looks for, you know, engaged mid lane champions. But it's into a Rise, so I don't think that's gonna, you know, happen this time around. They'll go for something else, and then you get a jungle with some carry potential for XU to round it out that can really, you know, thrive in some extended long team fights.
Something that can elongate the Seraphine ultimate as well. And I gotta say, we just saw Sentinels pull off a very similar draft, and they got the victory just earlier, a few minutes ago. So already Dignitas drafting a core of that. Now mid lane, we're looking for a little more damage here, either through XU or Palafox. It's looking like with this hover, it could be more facilitating from Palafox, but then we'll see what they decide to actually lock in, as it's Talia for Palafox.
Yeah, Talia always was a pretty common matchup with Rise. One of Palafox's best champions, I feel like, over the long course of his entire career. And definitely some good combos, because Talia, you always want setup. There's plenty of CC on this team. We're going to get the Deathfire Touch Smolder. This thing is all the rage in solo queue. The Black Cleaver just stacks up with the Deathfire Touch, plays into Smolder's poke pattern really well, and yeah, that's what we're gonna get here for Sajed, who you always want to highlight his team fighting, and Smolder kind of plays into that too. Farm up down there and stack up, and then get to the point where you can, you know, execute the Ornn.
I will say, not a lot of hard engage on the side of DSG, though, and a lot on the side of Dignitas, as it's Vi locked in for XU. So between the Arrow, the Ornn Horn, the Vi Ultimate, the Seraphine, like, they have ways to start off these fights. DSG is going to be playing more on the kind of reactive side, just looking at the comps.
Well, and they also, for DSG's side, they do have a lot of early power and skirmishing power. So you want, like, smaller fights with Xin and Rise, you know, having really good possibilities themselves. Xin, especially for the jungle matchup here, a lot more early game than Vi. You can oftentimes go for invades on the Vi. You can force early dragon fights and skirmishes. And you want to try and get some of these leads out of these, like, you know, skirmishes or earlier isolated plays before you get the big grouping. And then you get this team fight of the Ashe Seraphine with, you know, Ornn coming through. And it's just like this crazy big wall that you have to get through.
So who's going to help him out? Which lane are we looking to back up the Xin Zhao going aggressive?
Lane.
Solo lane.
Yes, you're not going to the smolder lane.
No, you're going to let that guy stack?
No, Xin invading Vi. You've got a Rumble pushing for you topside, and you have a Rise play off mid lane. So I definitely expect that to be the angle that XU does go for. And Surdy, we were talking about him. You know, he's the talk of the town with the trade being the big news for the entire league right before the roster lock. And Surdy here filling Castle's place that he left on DSG after heading out for LYON. He's got a Rumble into Ornn matchup. Very nice and easy for him, especially with the new Deathfire touch. You can put out a lot of pressure. That rune, of course, you want to keep the burn up as much as possible so you can get the empowered burn.
Here's a reminder, though, in case you were not caught up on the Surdy lore as to his story and journey, as we see a slight trade in the mid lane there. Surdy replaced by Photon.
They're still going.
They're still going for it. Ghost
some Ghost.
Yeah. But if you missed it there on the side because you're watching the fight, basically Surdy kind of replaced by Photon. So he's going up against the guy that took his seat on Dignitas when he was kind of the starter for them in the LTA. And it was fun hearing him in that interview saying, I've never actually started in the LCS. He was in the LTA. It was a different named league. So welcome to the LCS, Surdy.
Yeah, and does get to play the Ornn on the top side. Lots of heavy trading on bottom side too. So both junglers actually heading down towards bottom. Of course, Dignitas with the advantage of the Hawk shot. We'll be able to get the extra information as well. And then you have the Raptor ward that DSG were able to put. So they will just surmise it's also top-down clears for both of them. And I want to see how heavy the trading does go. I mean, they do have the extra sustain here, so chugging potion for Sajed as well as the Nami heals coming through. And as we said, the Hawk shot is the early easy cheat, so you get perfect timing on the Xin clear that is coming towards you and can play accordingly. And
all the lanes from top to bottom so far slight pushes for Dignitas. We see the Ornn pushing in the Rumble. We see the Ashe Seraphine pushing in Sajed and Lions, who we have seen happen more often than not as junglers heading to the bot side. So that kind of raises the question, because Castle, Desk was talking about this, who's going to step up on the side of DSG, Kobe? Because Castle was the bright spot. If you looked at an average gold distribution for this team, he was the only one ahead. So we actually want to ask chat, who's going to step up and be that next carry? And I'm going to ask you, Kobe, do you think it's going to be Kryra, Call Me, or Sajed? Which is the most likely on DSG's side?
I think Call Me. I actually think Call Me is you know, quite decent. And Quad was talking about him specifically on pros, and he was you know, talking about how he is a better laner for this matchup. You know, Quad was predicting that DSG are going to have an advantage because of that mid lane power, and he's got the Rise. I just feel like Rise, ever since they introduced Actualizer, this champ can pump.
Yeah, that 3-item spike is crazy.
Later on, it gets crazy, and since you have the Xin as your jungler, I feel like there's a lot of potential there for early skirmishes.
Surdy getting a big chunk on a Photon in the 1v1 topside. Kryra's nearby. Potential for a dive is another wave that's going to come in here. So who knows? Maybe it's actually the top lane that's going to keep carrying, as FBI also gets chunked out there by Sajed. And it looks like chat has answered. It is Sajed that chat believes in and has faith in. 0% for Kryra. That's crazy. Wow.
People hate junglers, dude. Also, sometimes it's like, oh, you said it, and maybe they don't know how to spell it or something. But no, it's probably because a lot of people have played against the Deathfire touch Black Cleaver Smolders that have been running around or flying around. And they already announced that the interaction is going to get nerfed or toned down, give a little internal cooldown. But it's definitely fun, and it's cool to see. So we'll keep track of Sajed's stacking and see how well he's able to keep on pace, because it's not the easiest of lanes. It's kind of annoying with the poke.
And I'll say this has been a conversation we've talked about a lot when it comes to Sajet and Lions. The laning phase, they have been falling behind. It's later in the game where we really see them step up and start to have a bigger impact. I think they get a little more of a pass this laning phase around because we do expect the Smolder to be more of that scaling pick. That's a nice look back from Palafox there to call me. Some more trading in the mid lanes, but the other one's going to go down.
All right. I mean, it's actually a big battle because getting the vision control for mid lane when you've got these junglers is critical. So Xyu's just going to slip on over there, finish the job, take out the other control ward. So everybody will be blind. And Kami's like, all right, fine. I'm just going to hover this top side of the lane. I know that you were just down there. Xyu's not clearing his Krugs either, not completing his second clear. So he went for the recall after clearing that ward. To go for his purchase first for his tunneler and his extra control ward. And he's going to go into a Krugs and maybe bottom side trailing play. He's going to have a little bit of time after that here. The Scuttle Crab, unfortunately for us, we like to see the fights that are on the bottom half of the map, but it is spawning on the top side. So, you know, after resetting here, Hawkshot is going to see Kryra finishing Gromp and heading towards, you know, the river and quite possibly up to grab the Scuttle Crab, whereas Xyu is going to hover around here. They did get the little trailing vision on Kryra with that hawk shot, and so it's keeping them guessing a little bit as far as where he went after the upper river.
And control ward by DSG will spot Xyu now, so this is perfect information for Kryra to just take that top Scuttle Crab.
Yeah, and he was already beeline for that. He doesn't want to mess around, I think, with the Ashe Seraphine bottom lane. And Xyu's going to focus on the dragon stacking here quite nicely. Vi very good at taking them. And here we go. Realm Warp to contest it. How quickly can he finish?
Kryra and Kami are coming very fast. Level 6 for Kryra, level 5 for Xyu. They're into the pit, and it's stolen! Kryra and Kami, the combo 2v1 will get first blood and a dragon steal.
Chat was right.
Yeah?
When we immediately went to them, there was 0%. Wait a second.
Even get flash out of Palafox. Yeah, they're looking for more.
But then you saw, after they had some time to vote, some votes for Kryra started to come in. So
put some respect on the jungler, Kobe.
They realized, you know, like, oh, okay, maybe it will be jungle stepping up. This one, I give, like, points to both, though. You know, my boy Call Me here that we're kind of voting for with the Realm Warp. The plan is coordinated, and they get the level 6 off the Scuttle Crab, so then you know you can win this fight, and they use the Realm Warp to get here in time. Just works out perfectly, and then the level 6 is used there to, well, I guess they didn't even need it, but flashes traded, and they both flash afterwards to chase down Xyu. So nicely done there.
I believe Xyu smited it to 20 HP on the dragon. Really close margins right there. But yeah, I love that combo from Call Me and Kryra. You get level 6 off of that top Scuttle. You're gonna win the fight. And you had already highlighted, Kobe, that Xin Zhao can just do this anyway. So now that Kryra is, you know, a couple camps ahead, has that assist, also gets the dragon steal, things are looking pretty good for DSG when it comes to their jungle in mid laner.
And this is the quote I was talking about when Quad was asked about this matchup from Emily, and it is positive, okay? Even though it sounds funny.
Why are we highlighting the top half and not the bottom half, Kobe?
Yeah. Well, he also said, I think the initial phrase was doesn't know how to like play the game afterwards, but he was highlighting that the overall point was that both these teams don't have the best macro, but Kami's laning is superior, and so that's why, from a mid lane perspective, he was favoring DSG and Kami because of that factor. And this wasn't necessarily laning; it was coordination with the jungle and kind of jungle plan, playing around the level 6 off Scuttle Crab.
Hey, pre-level or pre-8 minutes, technically in the laning phase. So there we go. Maybe a little column A, a little column B. Either way, it's a lead for DSG now, as it's 2.5 minutes for that next dragon. Grubs are on the table, but neither jungler seems to be looking at them right now.
And speaking of leads, the Ashe Seraphine, Kangas, have a over 500 gold, almost 600 for FBI lead down there with their turret plate that they've been able to take. Turret plates, as they got 2 of them, as well as the CS lead. And so bottom lane will continue to be the focus for Dignitas here.
Looks like a dive. I mean, Xyu has cease and desist available. They're clearing out the control ward. Xyu's not spotted on it, so DSG know that this is happening. So Palafox actually even spots out Call Me. Ash Arrow will go a little wide as the Weaver's Ball does not cancel the Realm Warp. Calmy is able to get out of there. So no dive. All right, Sajed and Lions, they have even the backup of their jungler and mid laner ready to come in on a moment's notice if that dive came through. So good hesitation there from Dig to say, nope, let's not hard force the play.
Yeah, and honestly, like the plans that we mentioned where for XU, you know, you're trying to cover basically. You're trying to scale up with this team. It's going quite well for DSG, for Cryoru's side. He's just pushing it harder, you know, able to make that Scuttle Crab play, get the Dragon, you know, play off his solo lanes that we were looking for Cryo. He grabs a grub for himself too, and I think this is well paced. Basically, they're like, you know what, bottom lane, just try and stack and farm. We know Ash Seraphine is annoying.
Yep. Hang tight, you'll scale.
His stacks aren't that bad. It's fine. 69 at the moment.
Nice stacks.
Working towards, thank you. Working towards a decent pace. If you're playing double range lanes down there, it's not going to be you know, the quickest, not being able to stack up off like a melee support or something. And
again, you are going to be scaling, getting those stacks to smolder, and the top half of the map is what's keeping DSG kind of in this, because Surdy subbing in, you know, first game now on the LCS stage. We know we played on LTA last year versus Photon today, though, is also getting himself a very large lead just when it comes to CS in the laning phase. So it kind of, it's bot side winning for Dig, but top side winning for DSG, making it a very equal game as Lions taking some damage. To flash from the seismic shove and the arrow.
All right, Nami will be vulnerable, but I mean, the first dragon, since it was kind of stolen away by DSG, there's a lot less of the threat of the big, you know, Ash Seraphine combo with no Ash arrow down at the moment. You still have your Seraphine ult, but their positioning's not great, and their, you know, vision, their entry is going to be difficult. So DSG should be able to finish the one, no problem. Surdy walks his way down here, and he can just walk his way right back up the top lane. Don't think he's going to actually lose that much CS either. Ornn trying to push the lane in now, but Surdy does have a blast cone to pop over the wall too, so good rotations here. DSG, the game plan being executed very, very well. You know, like we said, Cryo play off your solo lanes, just let your bottom lane tough it out, farm and stack down there. And he was even able to get more control over the neutral objectives than even initially thought.
Now we have another dive attempt, potentially, but Sajed actually backs all the way off, and XU throws up the angry monkey. So just more plates on the bottom turret going over to FBI.
They're going to blast on him.
1.4K.
Okay.
Yeah, Ballbreaker, XU gets out. He's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty deep in there. Honestly, for Dig, they're just like, all right, hunker down, and you know, keep on farming. We'll try and group up for our team fights later.
Yeah, I mean, with that power spike for FBI, he has the Kraken Slayer completed. 4 of the plates taken, 1.4K. That's a big goal lead, Kobe, considering there's been no kills in the bottom side of the Rift. That's their hope. That is the hope here for Dig. They need that damage output for these team fights. Again, they're going to find their big strength once they group up. They do have the possibilities. Like the early game, they could have maybe looked for some Vi and Taliyah combos. You always have the guaranteed Vi ult into Seismic Shove combo. But because, you know, XU got chased out and killed off that early dragon and lost flash as well, you can't really go for, you know, Vault Breaker flash plays, and so they didn't really have a great look to go for on Call Me. So everyone's keeping their summoner spells, so nice stuff here for DSG. Ooh. After the trade and bringing in Surdy. We have Vault Breaker being channeled by XU right now. Gets in range to land the ultimate onto Sajed, layer the CC, but he's able to flash cleanse, get out of there. Sajed survives the attempt in the mid lane. Dignitas threw a lot of ults at that. Yeah, and then Ignar did the ult flash to try and chase down and connect on him, and also not able to connect on that one. So that is a very big timing window for DSG to avoid death. Vi ultimate and Seraphine flash ultimate down now. So even Lions, even without his flash on Nami, feels confident to poke around for vision here. In the territory afterwards, because like there's no Vi ultimate that's going to punish me, and helps out a lot with the breathing room here. So you can look ahead towards your next dragon already for DSG.
keep a very quick pace about it for themselves.
The only thing I'll say is DSG won't have that smolder flash for that dragon fight if they try and continue stacking themselves. So I think that's one of those moments where Dignitas, they don't get the kill there, but they got the flash, which means that the next play, we're going to have to keep our eyes on Sajed's positioning because now he could be in more danger.
Yeah, simultaneously, Seraphine is really squishy in the early game, and so Ignar attempting the ult flash and not connecting, you can drop, Rumble ultimate and like, Xin looking to get on the Seraphine. Ignar's positioning also has to be a little careful too. She usually, though, you can stay pretty far back and just like bounce your ult off someone's head.
Let the Vi go in, yeah.
Here we go for a lane gank, though.
Call me alone in lane right now. XU jumps forward, but he has Kryra in his back pocket. Speaking of a flashless Seraphine, there's a kill to Kryra.
There you go. They punish it. The offensively used flash down here for Seraphine, so it's a nice little camp from Kryra. Control it in the Pixel Brush. They thought that they were pulling off a lane gank surprise onto Call Me, but the Vault Breaker doesn't even touch him, and he just kind of walks away, and he already had counters ready. They get the kill, they get the objective. Kangas, DSG, they didn't slow down at all. They pick up Surdy, and they are full steam ahead, just crushing the early stages of this game versus Dig.
And remember that this is the race for the last 2 playoff spots. The top 4 are locked. They're going to be fighting for seeding, but these teams are fighting to make it in. If DSG take this series win, Sentinels are big fans. We talked about that in the last series. That means that they lock in. Dignitas, they have to win 2 series in a row. They have this one versus DSG and then Sentinels next week. And if they want a chance at making playoffs, prove that those couple of games they got against the top 3 teams weren't just flukes, they have to show up. And so far, in game number 1, it's DSG with the advantage.
Yeah, Dignitas, a must-win scenario for them if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive. And the Black Cleaver Deathfire Touch Smolder combo we were talking about is getting closer and closer.
Arrow goes wide, teleport in from the mid lane, or into the mid lane rather, as that is Photon showing up to stop the Herald from connecting. Surdy's still in the top lane pushing that wave in. The Dragon has spawned, so DSG, they might just forego the fight for more gold onto the Rumble. It's going to slow down their Dragon Soul Stag, but no, they do TP Surdy in now. He will get the turret and now join up for a potential team fight. Call of Forge got used. Kryra trying to duck around it, throws up the Crescent Guard. It's Photon engaging onto him, but the ultimate will answer all the damage. As XU Vault Breaker's away, the Dragon still up for either team to go for. Equalizer available for Surdy. No Call to Forge got available for Photon, as now the tidal wave will go out, only land onto the tank. Weaver's Wall back up for Palafox. Blocking off multiple members from DSG, because now they have the access point for the Dragon, but in goes XU, does not land the Vault Breaker. Kryra answering back, flashes, does not get over the wall. Now Vault Breaker's to safety, but XU's chunked. I don't think there's a chance at a contest. That is a Dragon earn for DSG.
Yeah, DSG, nice grouping from them. Getting the cooldowns out, then repositioning, and honestly, after you go for that little attempted surprise play and you kind of whiff there on the side of Dignitas, pretty easy for Kryra and DSG to secure Dragon Soul point. Nicely done from them. Also, I will say, most pro Xin players talk about they don't like Titanic Hydra build, and they almost always go for Sundered Sky.
For junglers?
Yeah.
Okay.
For Xin players. And for solo queue, I am a huge fan of Titanic Hydra just because I love the auto attack reset and burst. And it doesn't put as much emphasis on stacking your Q on other stuff before you go for the triple Q play.
True, yeah.
But I do enjoy when we do get to see it here. And Kryra, it gives you very good on-hit damage. The auto attack reset is super nice. For if you haven't been able to fully pre-stack your Q or anything. Obviously, you can get it off very quickly. So I like that because a lot of the pro junglers are very, very much Sundered Sky lovers for a good reason. I mean, they give you crazy sustain.
In fact, I can't remember the last time we didn't see it built first as Bop, he takes a solo kill. I guess an assist to Lions for throwing out some healing there, but Kryra finding the avenue onto Palafox in the jungle and utilizing that attack reset pretty well, Kobe.
Big damage.
Yeah.
Also, flashing the seismic shove. Kryra's like, you are dead, buddy. Know where you are going. So I don't know. Maybe we rerun that poll.
Ooh.
Because I think...
Who's going to step up?
I think even though I initially voted for Call Me, I think Kryra is looking like the biggest, new step-up carry here for DSG. Since they both get points for the early Scuttle Crab Realm War play.
50-50.
And then Kryra's been very aggressive. He also like pre-ulted when the Ornn was going to ult him, make sure he doesn't, present any sort of target. He kind of has juked XU a lot and chased XU down in the Dragon Pit, so.
Going for a very unique build as well, Kryra here with the Blasting
Dusk
Wand.
and Dawn, baby.
Dusk and Dawn, yeah, the change on it. Why build Sundered Sky when you can get Divine Sunderer back, essentially,
Damn it.
Kryra right now getting engaged on himself. We were talking about how good he was doing. He's charmed up, but he's fighting his way out of it. Not enough to get an answer of a kill, but there comes the damage from Sajed. The Smolder ultimate will answer 1-for-1 support for jungler.
Yeah, the Smolder Mom over the top does get it. So even though Kryra goes down, honestly, that's pretty good. Get Smolder a kill.
Mother's Day is tomorrow, but today Smolder's mom showed up.
Yeah, there you go. And he's got his, Black Cleaver done that we're talking about for the quickly stacking burn there. And so part of the reason behind why I love this build so much for Xin, they did buff up the AP ratios for Xin, which is super nice. But really, Dusk and Dawn, when you get the extra passive of Titanic Hydra, that counts as well. So you get Xin passive and you can get that passive, procking real quick. And the burst damage when you have that Sheen proc off the Dusk and Dawn and you have the auto attack reset for the Titanic is just way more fun, okay? You get big burst damage,
I'm a fan
it's way
of fun.
more fun, and you get a lot of sustain too. With Sundered Sky, you get the sustain on one item. With this, you get it on
Kinda
two
delay
items
it,
with
but
the extra passive.
it's still very strong.
Yeah, exactly. It's still very strong, and I'm a fan.
It's also, I'm always a fan of the funny thing. And anytime I see AP items built on a champion that typically does not build AP, I'm like, that's kind of funny. I like that. That's good stuff right there.
What you would really like, Kangas, and I don't think is going to happen, but if he built a Static Shiv third, then you would, I presume you would be extremely
I would be very
happy with
excited about that. Yeah, just really spread
then,
that DPS.
Yeah, because then you get the Static Shiv procs through minion waves. Like the healing is super crazy and it's funny to watch. I don't think he's going to. But I'm just putting it out there.
Okay.
It's a possibility.
Floating it into the world.
Because that is also, if we're going fun and we're judging by fun, that is really, really fun.
And also judging by just a kind of turnaround for Kryra here, as we'll get back to that because we have 30 seconds for the Dragon. He still has to show up. The game's not won yet. He's at the 2-item spike, but so is XU. And currently Dignitas control the access point to the Dragon. Surdy's all the way in the top lane, has the teleport available if he wants to look for it, but just pushes the wave in. And now we'll channel TP into the mid lane, straight to the turret, very defensive. And it looks like DSG will look to approach through the mid lane.
All right, this is our big moment for Dignitas. We've been talking about their 5-on-5 group team fight all game long. They've got the position. Photon in front with the big shield. Palafox trying to do some poke damage. They're giving up mid lane priority to do this. DSG are going to get that priority and take the tower. And still have time to Realm Warp in.
Sending Kryra in alone, throws up the Crescent Guard, but everyone's inside the circle, getting the damage down. Equalizer to trade it back, and Kryra just won't go down. He's healing too much. The 2-item spike comes online. Double kill to Surdy as Dignitas get roasted at the Dragon fight. That's sold to DSG.
Honestly, Kangas, wrap it up. DSG have slammed Dignitas in game number 1. Dragon Soul and Baron and fun builds and
look at how long he lives here. I mean, if you're inside the Crescent Guard, you're doing damage, but he just heals through it.
So they've got the Vi and the Ornn inside. He was able to ult Palafox out to the edge. And
that's like 800 healing.
And you get big damage, you get big healing procs, and the rest of the team, honestly, just everyone's smurfing on their opponents here.
I also love that on that reaction cam, it was Surdy popping off, and everybody else was still like serious. They're like, look, man, playoffs aren't secured.
Surdy, yeah, but Surdy's like, I'm here, and I am. Maybe I'll edit.
Yeah, choose your words wisely here,
I am
Kobe.
doing well against our opponents, our
don't pull a
honorable
JoJo
opponents.
pun.
I am doing very successfully in my first game. Feels good, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Reminder that today it's the battle of the last 2 playoff spots, but highlight tomorrow. That's a big match as well. So mark your calendars there for Team Liquid versus LYON. Yeah. There's a lot of fun matches. The last 2 weeks of LCS, this split, are a treat because it's either who's going to make playoffs or who's the top dogs. Really, really fun stuff.
Love it. You know, there's stakes and there's pressure for both sides in 2 different directions. And Dignitas' direction right now is further to the bottom. They're already at the bottom, and they're looking like they're going further down.
They're always good for 1 game, but so far they have not been able to get that series. Right now they're looking for a pick here onto Kryra. He's got 30 in his back pocket, then again is just healing. 2-inch Vanity. They cannot kill this guy. Now the engage comes back in on the FBI. That is 3 picked up for DSG. You cannot keep the Xin Zhao down with this build. DSG with the Dragon Soul and a wave in the bot lane will take down Photon and look to close out game number 1.
Yeah, they're going to leave no doubt in anyone's mind. Game 1 is all DSG all the way. Surdy's back, and he gets a little taste of revenge against Dignitas.
Well-fought game. DSG controlled it from the get-go. From the 2v2 play in the mid lane for that first Dragon to now the game end. DSG will take game number 1.
And my player of the game is Kryra. I think he is the answer to that poll. He stepped up the most, and he did my personal favorite builds that I like to use too.
He didn't even have time to build a static shift. Could be a really good playoff run here. DSG would still need to win more, but Sentinels would at least get locked if DSG can close this one out here.
Yeah, DSG did not miss a beat changing out top laners. You know, they lost Castle, and a lot of people were like, oh, this sky is falling. Our best player is gone.
Yep.
And turns out they just plug in Surdy, give him a first pick Rumble. Of course, you know, you're playing Rumble into Ornn and you have the Deathfire Touch in here too. But he also, on top of that, like earned a very, very good lead, even more than kind of like baseline, and came in good ults, good roam timers too. You know, walking down lane, getting back in time for the minion wave, playing there for dragon fights. But also, I think the highlight was probably Kryra and Calmy's Realm Warp plays. They had multiple of them. Go for this level 6 off your Scuttle Crab one, go in, kill XU and steal the dragon, and then the next team fight. So I just think DSG looked really, really locked in and connected here. So Dig are going to have to do something special for me in game 2 to keep their hopes alive.
Yeah, you said that, do they even have a chance? That's how you threw it to the lounge.
That's what it's looking like here.
That is kind of what it's looking like.
They have taken some games off some very good LCS teams.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I do want to highlight, though, that Photon was on a tank in that game 1. I feel like Dig always look better when Photon's on a carry, something that he can actually have agency on at the top lane. So I'm imagining maybe Dignitas, this is their season on the line. If they lose this game, they cannot make playoffs. They still have to play next week, of course, but that will just be to maybe play upset in seedings. They have to win both series.
You think comms right now, Photon's like, I'm not going out on Sion. You're not giving
me Gwen.
You're not giving me a Sion or something in this game. I'm not going out like that. We're gonna, you know, give me a real pick.
Well, so far, no top laners banned. So wide open champ pool. It's Varus, Lucian, Karma, and then Bard, Pantheon, Nocturne. So junglers and bot laners. So it's Orianna, first pick for Dignitas, immediately answered by Akali J4. Aggressive diving combo.
This is my favorite combo, especially, okay, so my theory now, with Orianna losing phase rush, I think that it significantly hurt her. Because she already was a champion where you could devise team comps and strategies against her where, okay, fine, Orianna's OP, we'll give it to you, but we're going to attack you in the side lanes later. We're going to make your life very dangerous.
Yeah, low mobility mid lane.
And now, with the removal of phase rush, you lost even more mobility. And so I love Jarvan Akali answers because Jarvan, obviously, your Cataclysm very effective against Orianna. And Akali, you put tremendous pressure on, kill pressure on the Orianna, especially later into the game, into the side lanes. And so I do like this DSG mindset already. You know, you could tell they were thinking about it ahead of time. We're leaving the Orianna up for sure. We're insta-locking the Akali Jarvan. And this time around, it is Surdy's turn to pick the tank here. And he does blind pick both games. Of course, when people are like, oh, you know, counter pick versus blind pick type stuff, sometimes when you're first picking a Rumble, it's a little different. It's a little different connotation to the blind pick. But They did grab up the Poppy on the side of Dignitas after seeing the Akali and Jarvan attempts at making the Orianna's life dangerous, and Poppy is a very good like bodyguard style champ.
Exactly. I wanted to highlight that because it also is flexible in the draft here. Could go jungle, could technically go support if they want to pair it. Not like the most common with an Ezreal, but you know, if you want something else in the jungle to really punish DSG later in the draft, you have that option. But like you said, Surdy's kind of taking the handshake this time, saying, I'll be the tank, I'll be the front line, and that means that they get to ban away the carries from Photon. He's not going to play the Gwen. His favorite champion is off the table, as well as the Gnar.
Yeah, Gwen and Gnar, two of his favorite champions, and two very good picks into tanks and into Sion, so good protection bans from DSG here for Surdy at the very least. And we'll see. I mean, Photon, you know, could go Bruiser into it as well. There's, you know, Aatrox options and stuff, even though that's a lot less frequent now. Yeah. So we'll see. Renata would be very, very interesting for your team fight, but they are already showing a decent amount of dive. They don't go with the hover onto the Kai'Sa and go full on the dive. But still, if you can go like Yunar Lulu and have some really big carry potential with Akali and Jarvan kind of diving by themselves anyway, then that can create a lot of space for you.
I like it because it kind of gives you that dichotomy that you're just talking about. They have like the 3 core, frontline, Yunar, and we're presuming Lulu, something like that. But then they also have the dive bros, dive siblings, dive folks. There we go. We're going to go with dive folks in the Akali and the J4 that can try and make an Orianna's life miserable, but then they still have this team fight that they can fall back on. So I think that this type of like pivot in the draft is actually really interesting. I wouldn't have liked as much the hard commit from a Kai'Sa because then a Nautilus ult coming your way. The Poppy's going to be blocking your ultimate mobility. But here's a fun one. Shen locked in for Dignitas.
Yeah, probably the jungle Shen angle. Maybe that goes into Photon's hand. Actually, it is good into Sion. So you can, if you can get your Q pass-throughs as well, then it's quite nice up there, and you get to be the one with the Stand United. So you can, sometimes Sion gets advantages over other top laners where he can like push out a lane and then walk bottom, make an ultimate play. But Shen, of course, with your Stand United, you can definitely keep tempo with a Sion.
Also helps the Orianna in that side lane. Like you were highlighting before, usually we think Orianna's going to be weak, but now you got some extra backup.
True. Not as much mobility as previous in history, but more shields.
Yeah, and Palafox, he's getting in position. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He switched feet.
He gets up a lot.
He's ready.
He might get up out of his chair the most of any LCS pro player. Like during games and stuff, sometimes you can see on the player cams too.
Do you think they would let him just like do a standing desk? Is that the answer to unlock Palafox?
No, because the desk is like full. Well,
I think that it is one long desk.
I'm not going to say no
actually.
yet.
No, okay.
We'll keep the door open. Maybe there's like an ergonomics lawsuit or something. I don't want to get into any of that.
Yeah, let's not bring that one up again.
We got but
he seems comfortable right now.
Yeah, no standing desk right now, so he just gets up a lot.
Yeah. Dignitas backs against the wall. Their entire spring split run is resting on this game, and then the next, and then the series after that. They have to win out from this point to make playoffs. A game loss in this series means that they are not in contention for spring split playoffs anymore. And DSG are coming in looking hot, Kobe. That was a one-sided win in game number 1.
Certainly was. And in game number 2, let's see what they can pull off. Kryra on Jarvan here has a lot of options. They are trying to keep track of him early. Photon himself goes up to get the kind of medium ward here between blue buff and the entrance over to Gromp. So he's going to make sure that he knows Kryra is leaving top lane so you can trade very heavily with Shen. Straight out of the gate here, you usually want to place your Q further up so you can get a nice little Q pullback for the early trade. Onto the Sion and start to establish some of the, there you go.
Yeah.
Early dominance of Shen just because Q is so good early on.
Plus your grasp of the Undying procs as well means that you just trade really efficiently as now XU. Ooh, he's looking for an invade right now. Onto Kryra, doesn't have the smite available, so he just headbutts him into the wall and will get the electrocute proc. pushes Kryra all the way back to the tier 2 turret. That is a very effective invade.
So he did spend his flash in order to assert this dominance, because he flashes over the back of this wall right here, this Baron wall, and he does not, doesn't look from the UI, look, he's running the Hex flash, even though he is utility for his secondaries, but the burst damage from the electrocute and getting there with a surprise.
Ooh, not going to be 2, though. Kryra is able to get the wolves.
He used his flash for all this, so we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Maybe his flash gets punished, maybe it doesn't, but you know, had to assert some dominance after last game. Like last game, he got
about sending a message.
He got pushed around last game. He was just getting beat up in the dragon pit.
Yeah.
Punched around. He was like, you know what?
Dredge line in onto Lions. FBI gets pushed back, though. Big slow as Sajed's full health. So, all right, 2v2, nothing's going to happen down there. And yeah, back to the jungle. We're going to have to track to see that flash, because one camp ahead, you want to get more if you're going to commit your flash for that type of early invade. The fact that Kryra gets the wolf is really big for Kryra to stay in this game.
Yeah, we'll see, too, because it throws off a lot of the regular, you know, quote-unquote jungle plans, since the respawn timers get all out of whack when early invades go off like this. So you get stuff like this where you collapse on level 3 Scuttle Crabs. Thankfully for Exu, his bottom lane has push, and he's able to secure this one with Kryra in his face. Does invest his Smite charge to do so. And since Call Me is 50% HP, actually Kryra comes back.
Yeah, lands a flag and drag, couple autos in there, taking full advantage of the Jarvan passive. That first auto doing a lot of damage. There's a flash from Call Me. Will land a shuriken, but I mean the Poppy W is just able to walk you away.
Their comms must have been something around, hey, remember this Poppy doesn't have flash, but he's not that vulnerable. He still has his W, so I thought that was a very weird flash from Call Me. I don't think that's really a kill angle, especially with Palafox there. Orianna can shield up the Poppy damage as well. So
we still have an invade prolonged, though.
They did certainly want it to be a kill angle. I don't know. Maybe if they had like walked up, if Kryra had stepped on the shield passive thing that had popped off.
Ooh, flashes galore in the mid lane as first blood picked up by DSG.
That's the real kill angle. You get the support roam over too. Kryra flashes, they trade flashes. Lulu also flashing, getting the kill into Call Me's hands. It's like he got that first blood off of the Poppy anyway.
It's the same thing.
Even better, actually.
True.
Because now the Orianna doesn't have flash for when you get level 6.
Oh, okay. Ignar wasn't able to get in range to get the auto before Call Me got the shuriken flip. So, yeah, and Call Me's got a huge wave to collect here as well. So Palafox, no flash, is in danger. Photon, once he hits level 6, will be able to help him out a little bit, but there's always the potential that Kryra can re-look for another gank here, especially as Call Me should be pretty close to picking up that level 6, probably one wave away as I'm looking at that XP bar.
Nice, they defend the last attack on the control ward too. I mean, I always do like that. You know, he's hovering over, make sure you can keep that vision. Even though your opponents know that it's there, it's still, like they have to actually get rid of it with their hands, and it's on your side of the map, and so it gives you like one more good play out of that ward being there probably. So we'll see. Nice little defense here. Things for DSG. Once again, it seems like they're so calm. Like they're handling all of even the surprise plays from Dig, like the level 2 Poppy. A lot of people would call it cheese. Going for red buff, flashing over the wall, and level 2 surprising you at Gromp.
Photon gets some big damage onto Surdy. He's trying to body block from the unstoppable onslaught, but Surdy does just walk away. Photon looking for his own little cheese there. The Shen percentage HP damage coming.
Hey, that's honorable.
Oh, speaking of honorable, how about just a straight up 2v1 kill under turret there?
Yeah, maybe they go for a little more pressure.
Yeah.
Krugs are being taken by Exu. Let's see.
This is a really rough moment. Yeah, Exu's going to take this. They have the dive set up, and now the Shen stand united. Everybody's partying in the bot lane, and that is a dead Yanara. Another kill over to Dignitas.
All right, Photon, get out of there so you can recall and get back to lane since he doesn't have his teleport. Ooh, it actually would be really nice if Lions could stop his recall, and Photon, because they had vision of Lions, he is going to stop it. Keep chasing him, delay it. So try and make him pay a little bit. Scion trying to get the wave in. They do make them pay with the red buff steal. Thank you, observers. As well as Surdy cashing in on a single plate.
XU's coming up to the top lane as Kryra's on the Krugs. XU will get to the wave. Close to hitting level 6 himself. He might be able to get it here as the dredge line lands from Ignar. XU's not level 6 yet, still level 5 as he walks away from the wave. So Kryra just gets a flag and drag out.
Okay, and XU, I believe, grabbed the cannon kill under the tower while Ignar was defending his Gromps for him. So gets his level 6.
Yeah, I want to take a look here. So this actually started even before this. So this is the play where they get the dredge line on Alliance. He's trying to hold the wave. Ignar punishes, right?
That is a story as old as time.
But it started earlier.
My bad, Arlene.
My bad. It started earlier when Sajed took 2 Mystic shots that he should have been able to sidestep, but because he took those, he goes for the reset, which left LYON alone in lane. So it's kind of this cascading effect.
You are for sure a support player, bro. You're just blaming. I like that deflection.
Yeah.
You know what? No,
I'm just saying.
I agree with you.
If Yanar wasn't half health and reset, that lane wouldn't have been in that spot.
I agree. I like the angle. You know, we gotta go back and look at the domino effects.
Yeah. You know what? Analyst Lounge after this game.
I like that.
Let's take a look at what happened 30 seconds before that play.
I loved it. Actually, now I want to play this game in like so many scenarios.
Yeah.
It's like the new version of Blame Game, and like each person comes with some clips, and you're like, look at this guy. Look at a poor play that this guy made, and then the other person's job is to rewind and go back and find how he can blame
somebody else.
Yeah. It's actually so funny too, because like so many times, supports are like, oh, I'm trying to be a good support. I'll hold the wave. I'm pulling it over for you. And then the opponents or whatever like didn't really recall, or they come out like that and they land their hook on you and punish supports that are trying to hold waves. But so that is an old story. But I do like the angle of like, well, you took this poke damage here, and you had to go back for the reset.
Don't mind that Lions had flash, and he saw the Nautilus walking out the whole time. That doesn't matter. No, it's just
exactly. That's the point of the game, of the blame game, is to rewind and
find
place the blame somewhere else.
I like this. Let's bring it back. Currently, right now, we have Dragon up, but neither team's looking at it. So I mean, it's going to be a pretty late Dragon stacking, all things considered, in this game, as nobody's picked up that first one. And in fact, XU's even walking up to take the Grubs instead. Palfox is going to be there. Ignar even roams all the way up. So FBI is going to be laning alone for right now as the Shockwave lands on the Call Me in the mid lane. Ignar not level 6, so can't continue the CC train. Call Me gets out.
Okay, gets out. And what is the timer on that teleport? Pretty dang small little sliver of a cooldown. So he actually can just sustain under his tower anyway. Continues testing, so feels pretty good for him. Bot side, though, not feeling good.
Ignar still not level 6. We have a 2v2. Sajed trying to play in the way, but Photon comes in with the Stand United. Flash from Sajed to dodge the Mystic shot, but the flash fall from Ignar. Dredge line lands, and Ignar with the kill. Dig, another one on the board.
Dignitas, you said they're always good for one, Kangas.
They're always good.
Maybe. They have been swept by some teams.
Ironically, other teams around them in the standings. Teams. Yeah, FlyQuest is one of the other ones, but they're also like in that, they're top 4, but they're not in the top 3 kind of clump right now. So yeah, it's weird how Dignitas' series have gone. Yeah,
I like how it's a question mark. They've been punching up, question mark, because look at these. You get your win off of LYON, off of TL, off of Cloud9, and then, FlyQuest, swept them, but they were quite close, I remember, in that second game. Yeah. And you kind of thought they were going to do it, and they fumbled for sure towards the later stages. But we'll see if they can do it this time around because, again, it's an absolutely necessary win for Dignitas to keep their playoff hopes alive. If they lose this game, then they are out of playoffs. If they lose this series, even if they do win this game at all and lose the next game, then they will still be out. But got to start here, and we mentioned Photon saying, you know what, I'm not going out like that, give me something different. And he's made good use of the Shen. Multiple good Shen plays to the bottom side of the map have definitely helped.
And if you like the Xinjiao build, something tells me you're going to like the Shen build as well here, because he's building towards that Titanic.
It can be the same thing. Because Shen, Titanic into Dusk and Dawn also is very real and very good burst damage. But I think it's quite likely that he goes just Titanic into regular
He
tank.
body blocked Surdy's Unstoppable Onslaught, and now Exu's here, so this should be a dead sign. Flashes away. Flash! Ult follow from Exu, but in comes Kryra, backing up his top laner, and will get Surdy out of there. Kryra at the right place at the right time.
Woo! Evacuation complete. And Surdy has been, punishing when the Shen does leave.
Yeah.
His CS, for Surdy has been decent, and he also got the single turret plate, though, similar thing is about to happen for Photon.
Ooh, Hex Flash from Ignar, looking for the dredge line. It was a little wide. Kami's able to sidestep that one, jukes it around.
Yeah.
Surdy's even going to catch this wave. So to your point, Kobe, yeah, Surdy's having still a great laning phase in this series.
It does help when your opponent leaves sometimes. But also...
Zion's favorite lane state is nobody there.
Yeah, he's also been, doing... I mean, that's what that's all you can really do here on this side. Then maybe try and make an ult play or something to pay your team back. But he, as you called out, did try and use the ult for escape there. Not going to have to cool down for a while. Interrupt the recalls here. Little timing play.
Like that.
Definitely nice, because you're on your Trinity Force spike for Ezreal, so it's a very good timing for FBI.
This means you can push the wave into mid lane, but Ignar going to go for the dredge line, did not. I guess he was fishing for one person. There were two there, so they back off. But FBI is able to push this mid wave and get another plate now. Actually, 2 plates, I believe, here. So FBI is getting a big lead for himself again, just like game 1, 1.5K now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this one's going to be real for him too.
Yeah.
Game 1, Dignitas didn't turn into really much at all because they're kind of smashed everywhere else and around all the team fights and objectives. But I think this one is going to be real for FBI. The poke damage is going to be insane. He made his own tempo play by stopping the recall of Sajed and then being he was both the benefactor and the beneficiary of that play. Because he was able to earn the extra push here. And so, yeah, very good timing for him on his tier and Trinity Force. Your poke damage is good. You're very safe in the mid lane.
Not gonna lie, didn't realize there was a difference in meaning for those words.
There is a big one. And it's
you.
actually funny because a lot of people say the wrong one.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to different moments in my life now. I'm like, I've definitely used that incorrectly. And I'm learning. Yeah. It's important to have a growth mindset, everybody.
Nice.
Yeah.
Learn something today. We got a deep Lulu, too, here. Look at these wards through the red quadrant of the jungle. Unfortunately, we can't highlight them here for you, but you can see them on the minimap highlighted in-game.
I can see you pointing at them, so I can confirm to everybody, Kobe would be drawing on the screen.
Nice bright blue spots all over the top side of this map.
Oh, that is a lot of blue. I didn't even look at the minimap. That is, well, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wards in the top river/enemy jungle. Lit up like a Christmas tree. Surdy in a very safe spot as now Lions is going to walk up. CXU, Sajed's coming up as well. It's going to be 2 melee champions against the hyper carry plus the support. So XU and Ignar decide to back off, but they're still on a ward. Still spotted right there.
See if the attack is successful, because you have Sion wrapping around, and Surdy does have his Sion ultimate ready.
I mean,
however, flashes are available for Ignar. There's no flash on XU, so maybe that's what they were thinking with all this deep wards. They're like, all right, maybe we can find a play onto this flashless Poppy and punish. But
especially if Lion's like polymorph, so there's no steadfast presence coming out. But they didn't pull the trigger. Kryra was potentially looking for it. He was in the neighborhood, but Dignitas are at least able to wrestle some of this vision back to their side.
Meanwhile, the bottom side matchup has swapped here with Gunblade Akali going into the Shen. Wonder if Call Me is going to be able to put out significant pressure down there, because otherwise it's a Shen with Stand United and teleport.
Yeah.
And
well, you know what could happen is the old shuriken flip to follow the Stand United.
That is always so sick.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see one of those?
Sometimes it's really bad for you, but do it every time anyway.
Yeah, again, do the funny thing. As Kryra looks for the flag and drag there onto Ignar, not going to land it. Sajed getting chunked out by FBI. As Lion Shield behind him, Dredge Line will go a little wide as now Kryra goes back in for the re-engage. Polymorph onto XU. Stand United Shield will keep him alive, but not for long enough. Sajed with the kill. Now 2 on the board for DSG.
There they go. They do get their
Shockwave on a Kryra and interrupted the flag and drag, so he has to flash away from the Dredge Line.
They finally get their punish onto Poppy that they had been setting up for and looking for so long. And even with the Stand United, and I'm looking back, it looks like the flash timer had come up like just in time. It was a couple seconds away, but it had come up.
Wow.
So they burst him down. No Stand United play available for Dignitas now. Let's see what they can get in the aftermath. In addition to Rift Herald, pushing out an extra wave here. So nice little play for DSG. Of course, they also hit their 2-item power spike on Yunara. So Yunara plus Lulu starts to be a little bit scary. Thankfully for Dig, they've got a Nautilus, so your point and click maybe can help you set something up.
And because Call Me didn't have the Shen taxi service to follow that Stand United, actually used the TP. Photon actually got the bottom turret, and is now top lane getting this turret as well. So Photon's really making a lot happen in these side lanes. I don't know if he'll get the full turret top side, but it's at least going to be very low.
Teleport will be critical here for the bottom side Dragonfly 2, because both teams making their way into it.
Surdy and Photon both have access to it, but so far, DSG, oh, they dropped the Herald in the pit.
Combat
That always
Herald.
gives you the option, yeah, to use it to just engage into Dignitas, who are now waiting in the banana brush. They have vision control of the area. DSG do not see them, so now the Herald comes out, lands a knockup on XU. He gets in range and he steals it! XU just walks up, presses Smite, walks away. It's a shockwave onto Kryber, not going to be followed up by anybody, but Dignitas, I mean, sure, you'll take it.
I mean, yeah, you'll take that. Yoink, thank you very much. That was free as hell. Just walk up and take it, even with the comedy of the Rift Heralds that are used for combat. Yeah, I mean, to knock him up, but he walked into range.
Yeah, it's like a 0.5 second knockup. It's not very long. So let's get another look at that, because it seems like the idea is, okay, XUCC'd,
It's all
burn
good.
it down.
He's in here now. Walk up, boom. That is a hard. Whoa, that was a hard one to do. Last number I saw was 16 something.
Really?
So that was a hard smite to pull off.
Hey, well done.
Sometimes nice to be a little lucky too.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. As at least XU keeps Dignitas in the game when it comes to the Dragon stacking. DSG's not going to keep those ones going. And they didn't get any use out of the Herald either. Like, they didn't land that onto the turret. So that means kind of wasted time now for DSG across the board. Kryber will get an invade, taking away the Gromp. Call Me's getting multiple plates here, but top turret did eventually fall. Dignitas with 2 of the structures taken, none answered currently for DSG.
Okay, FBI is definitely in a very good position. Super rich, fully transformed Muramana. He needs to hit Mystic shots.
Yeah.
On people, though.
Yeah, they don't do damage to the turrets. I'm sure he's aware of
No.
that. Still went down. 3 turrets to 0. Dignitas controlling the objectives here. And the map by extension. Big damage onto Sajed as XU tried to carry the shockwave in. Has the ultimate to knock back the J4. Sajed still getting some big damage in onto the Poppy. Stand United will be channeled. Surdy's in the thick of things as he's taunted up, but still commit onto XU. Sajed gets the kill. Call Me goes in. Depth Charge will not save FBI's life as Ignar tries to get out of there. Flashing onto the turret. Taunted up Surdy. The queue is interrupted. Dignitas still lose 2 members. DSG stand tall.
I gotta say, Sajed saw that play coming. Nicely done, Sajed. He flashes. He's like, hey, I recognize this Poppy has been given the Orianna ball. There is a reason this guy is charging and flashing towards me.
He is trying to dunk.
Good flash from Sajed to avoid the Poppy flash shockwave delivery system. And even though he took a big chunk of damage from the Ezreal, it turns favorable for DSG. They're going to get the Baron. Yeah, you know, Dignitas can try and make them pay a little bit in turret plate money, but that is so big for them.
They still have not taken a turret, but you have to imagine wearing the Red Bull Baron power play, DSG will be able to crack these structures now. Sajed, we talk about this guy. Laning phase, still things to work on. He's a rookie. Not expecting him to be able to smash lanes at this level, but when he's needed to step up in these bigger team fight moments, that's where a player like Sajed is already shining, and that makes it so excited for the growth of him going into the future. As right now, FBI pushed out here in the mid lane. Photon's hovering around. DSG are getting the wave to crash, but it seems like they're more focused on Call Me in the bot lane. XU gets a flash in onto the carry. Sajed still lives lives with Lions' help, but he's locked down, trying to kite back. He's out of there. Photon with the kill. It's traded, though, as DSG look to turn back onto the backline themselves. Flash from Ignar, but Call Me is the carry for DSG. It's a 2-for-2 trade so far, but can DSG get out the flash taunt from Photon? Dignitas continue the play onto Kryra. Call Me got to safety. Surdy is just a wall of a front line, but Kryra taunted again. Photon steps up, huge for Dignitas in the team fight, and that's going to be a 4-for-2 trade for Dig.
The Titanic Hydra Dusk and Dawn combo is going to get nerfed, isn't it? Man, this is my favorite thing in the game, though. Man, it's so fun. All right, Photon, though, doing some work, some good burst damage, some good taunts from him, but let's take another look at the focus. This time around, they know, okay, Sajed doesn't have flash anymore, so we can full send on Sajed this time. We kill him, and yeah, you answer back a little bit, but you know, Call Me doesn't have as much threat left over anymore, and it's Ezreal with red buff still. So they know they can follow the chase. Photon, look at that damage from this boy. Pops a blast cone as well. Pops Kryra.
Yep. Popping everybody as Photon showing the strength of that 2-item spike on Shen. And yeah, I mean, FBI being alive, he was able to get so much damage onto Surdy while he was holding the line. Like, Cyan can't tank an Ezreal forever, unfortunately. And that is a big win for Dignitas. Now he's looking for even more on the Sajed. Again, the wild growth will keep him up. Let's see how much Dignitas want to go for it. They had the Stand United from Photon, so they kind of full sent for that.
Ooh,
Call Me now as a flank.
All right, can they get poke damage? They do need to get some value out of the poke here for Dignitas. FBI, you know, previously he has been able to land some pretty significant poke either onto Sajed. You know, it's fine if he lands it onto like Lions or something as well if the positioning is there. It looks like not even going to attempt the cancel here for DSG. They're just gonna make the swap up to the top side and see if they can get a little tower money up there.
Was it? Okay, that was not sold. That was Sajed getting it. I thought that for a second FBI stole that one with a true shot barrage. Was aiming for the wave, I believe, as DSG, their Baron power play, not very powerful, Kobe. It was, I think, like 300 as it expired. Now they will at least get this top turret, but Dignitas did a great job of kind of nullifying that Baron push.
And a lot, I mean, we did talk about in the previous game, but you know how Photon is a lot of times the star player for Dignitas, but he is really the star player this time around because even the success of the bottom side of the map, there was a lot of Shen plays where he, you know, Shen Stand United down to the bottom side and, you know, got FBI into a pretty good position, but it's still Photon who has the lion's share of the golds and the gold advantage.
They play tomorrow, actually.
Yeah. Ha, 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 ha.
Okay, DSG right now trying to get onto Photon. No Stand United.
Is that a curse?
No flash, and he's all alone in the side lane. Even a teleport in from Call Me. DSG are full committing onto the Shen. Why play into the lane that he can join if he can just play into his lane? And the shutdown gold goes to Call Me. Big pickup there for the Akali.
The power of the caster curse. It's
real. See, you don't have to nerf these items now.
Yeah. I did that on purpose. Genius. See? It's easy. Just go kill him.
Yeah.
They take down Photon. It's actually huge. Genghis, it's actually huge. You know, he had the obviously massive gold difference in favor on Dignitas, the only one that's in their favor. And guess what? Call Me is eating good here. The Akali is rich. That is some very scary burst damage.
And this is part of why you would have highlighted Call Me, as it looks like the siege continues for DSG. When we're asking the question who steps up, Call Me so far in this game is Zep charge on the Sajed, pushes him back as Surdy's taking up a lot of damage, uses the flash to get away, and Dignitas will not find a kill. But Summoner spell down now on the tanky top laner. Ooh.
I don't think there's going to be a continuation on the play. They do really want this mid tower. Actually, Kryra wants even some red buff action.
Looks like he's not spotted. He goes for the engage on the Palafox, but he doesn't have the team nearby. They're coming up now as a Cataclysm will land on the Palafox, but the Stand United shield just makes Palafox way too tanky. Now the rest of DSG join up, but Kryra was deep in enemy territory. It take too long for the rest to join in. Dignitas keep their mid laner alive, and now they're turning the attention of the top laner. Sturdy Calmy gets out of the back line, just eviscerates Palafox. A double kill to Calmy. The Akali carry arrives, and that's a team fight win for DSG.
Yeah, call an ambulance. Definitely for them. Definitely for them.
That was 0 to 100 real fast there, Kobe. I was ready to say, what was that, Kryra? I mean, he went way too deep at first.
Yeah, you could still say that, honestly.
Yeah.
Maybe the comms were like, yo, I am so fed right now, just start a fight anyways. I'll clean it. I'll make it good. I'll clean that up. Okay.
It don't matter how it starts, matters how it ends. But it ends with Kryra coming out from base. The Baron started, but no smite for DSG. Dignitas XU is still up. So DSG, they can't get this Baron too low, but they're also getting poked by FBI. Dredgeline lands onto Surdy. Now Calmy gets over the wall, looking at FBI. Now turning attention onto Ignar. The Nautilus is taken down. Calmy goes godlike, and now Kryra has joined up with the rest of the team. But as I say it, they decide to back off from Baron. They'll just take the pick.
Okay, Akali's a problem. Yeah, as we were looking at earlier, talking about how rich she is, and she put that money to good use. So the call is, yo, just try and like make the fight extended. I feel like it always is kind of risky because you see they're right there with the Poppy, and you know they have Shen. But Calmy's still walking over, and so once Calmy gets here, look at this deletion on the Orianna. Palafox is 60% health to 0 instantly.
Yeah.
And then he's able to get out off the other side through the Shen and killing off the Shen as he exits.
And XU used Steadfast Presence a little early. It expired by the time that Calmy used came out of the stasis. So DSG right back to the Baron. They're going to start this up again. It's down to half health. XU is nearby. Keeper's Verdict could knock away Kryra. So Sturdy's got a body block. They at least get the teleport in from Photon and back away. It's just the play to bait out the Summoner spell. TP down. XU in the brush, though, really far forward. Has the ultimate used. Knocks away Sturdy, but he's chunked as well.
Everybody needs to track Akali at all times.
They see him. They know exactly where he is. So now Sturdy's got to go in and try and back up his mid laner. As the ultimate will land onto Ignar as he dredge lines away. And now they chase CC. They're trying to lock down the flanker. Calmy, even with the Wild Growth and the Zonias, might go down. Has the ultimate and the Shuriken flip to get to safety. But that was precarious.
Yeah, they knew he was on that angle. They jump on him, and they still don't get him. You know how frustrating that is, Kangas?
Pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
7-0-2, that's a juicy shutdown if they get that kill.
Yeah, Lions over the wall is able to get the Wild Growth and use the Summoner spell heal. And, man, Akali lives one of the most frustrating champions in the game. Very fed still, and not giving over the bounty.
Oh, XU trying to take his own camp right now as Kryra with the Cataclysm locks him down. Nobody is there to back up XU. Dignitas lose their jungler.
Yeah, I mean, that's just better coordination from DSG on the reset here where Dignitas are spread, just trying to farm their own jungle, trying to farm top lane with Orianna. You know, good focus from DSG, and they're not even going to go take the easy objective of the dragon first. They're going to say, you know what, we're going to use your jungle death timer to force on Baron. Some good poke damage a little bit from the Ezreal.
And we still have Shockwave available for Dignitas, so Palafox could find a big one right here. DSG are clumped up. They're grouping. FBI's landing the poke onto Calmy. They're just marking the Akali right now. Dredgeline will go wide. So he's got a big shield, but Photon goes in, trying to take down Kryra. The Wild Growth is not enough to save the jungler. Dignitas fight through with the number disadvantage, but Sajed unleashed. Calmy goes down. Tag in the rookie AD carry. Sajed unleashed with the double kill, but he's locked down. He's taken down. FBI stands tall. The double kill to Dignitas's carry.
They underestimated the Assassin Shen build with the Titanic Dusk and Dawn, baby. My jungler's dead? Nah. Your jungler is dead. Look at this. Photon's just staring at Kryra right in front of him. He's got him to 50% HP. Titanic Hydra off of the ward. Boom, goes in. Titanic Hydra
Filthy.
with the Dusk and Dawn right there. Instantly deletes him. And the rest of the team, I mean, yeah, Sajed is getting some kills, but look at FBI is still alive here. And after they deal with the zombie, they're able to get the hook right onto Sajed. FBI was killing him while he was walking past the Shen.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Nice. Watch me, Photon.
Nice, guys. Good job.
Did he just Did he say watch me, Photon? I couldn't catch what that last one was,
Yeah.
but yeah, that was awesome.
Because Photon did the big play, kill the enemy jungle, save the Baron, and then they get the Baron, and they get the Dragon too. DSG, they could have gone with the safe option, go Dragon first. You know, we killed enemy jungle, we'll get Dragon first, then we'll look for the next round of plays. And I felt like they were in a pretty comfortable position.
Yeah.
But after that, taking the risky option, going for the Baron, not respecting the Shen damage.
Yep. But fool me once. I think
Don't fool me once now, you just got Dragon Soul Point and Baron. And
well, I think at this point, if you're DSG and they do that again, like you cannot, as a Yanara, be standing melee range of a Shen in the Spirit's Refuge. Like your autos aren't going to do anything. You can't kill him. You got to kite back. So it's moments like that. I
and
think
you're getting hit with the Ezreal poke at the
exactly
same time.
right. So I feel like there's ways DSG could have won that fight. They're not respecting Shen's damage. They got to learn from those mistakes. They're still in the game, but Dignitas with the Baron can keep pushing the siege. Tommy will get one turret in the top side, but Dignitas will crack the inhibitor turret in the bottom side, and they look to keep it going with 2 empowered cannon minions.
Yeah, I don't know if you even get to make that mistake again as DSG, because Dignitas here, the siege looks very good. Poke damage is good. Eventually, these buffed up cannon minions get the inhibitor, and they're gonna get a lot off of that play.
Cryer was looking for the 1v1. I don't think he wins that. If he finds that 1v1 onto Photon right there, Ignar not landing the dredge line there onto DSG. So it's going to be the 1 inhibitor taken for now. Dignitas will back off from the bottom side and reassert their focus here in the mid lane as Photon will go for the reset and go towards the top lane. 4 items on the Shen. He has a stand united, so he can join up very quickly. Dignitas are in a commanding position.
If Dignitas...
Okay, dredge line goes a little wide, has to flash away. Depth charge onto Kryra, but Call Me gets big damage in onto Ignar. Keeper's Verdict from XU will smack away Surdy on the engage, and Dignitas will have to back off.
If Dignitas win this game and go on to win this series, what type of bonus do you give Photon?
I think he's rich enough. He's got 4.9k gold.
So your bonus in real life depends on your gold lead in game.
Ooh,
maybe.
Is it just like $1, like 5k? He just gets a 5k bonus.
Maybe a multiplier.
There's something there.
Yeah, how much do they value getting into playoffs here too?
I mean, that is the goal of the team.
Maybe it's also like
I should hook Akali there, second one.
yeah, you still have to look Akali. You still have to be tracking Akali. Nautilus is one of the biggest answers, of course. You have to really respect Call Me still, even though they were able to, find him on, previous play. He has his fully completed Zonias. His damage is outrageous. So definitely have to fully track the Akali, especially here with the Nautilus and the Poppy.
Building towards the Void Staff, going to just be one-shot. We already saw how fast he was able to one-shot Palafox earlier in the game, but now Palafox has the Zonias. Now, with the lock-in on Ignar, it's going to be harder to even take down FBI and such, so Dignitas, I still think that they're in such a good spot currently, but when Call Me is able to get onto that backline, if he finds that one angle, this game could still be in DSG's court. They just got to find that moment.
Plus, I mean, the Yunara is very dangerous with a Guardian Angel too, and you have, full crit, multipliers operational. You've got your Infinity Edge, you have your Lord Dom, so if Sajet does get time to hit, and is able to stay mobile here. He's got a Lulu backing him up, and he's very, very threatening in some extended fights. So you have a couple of big threats that you really need to be wary of. But from the side of Dig, the threat, the Giga Chad has been Photon. See if he can make another big play for them, because their map is in a pretty good spot, and they're looking at Dragon Soul in just over a minute.
The one thing I'll say for DSG is that, the Shen, I would argue, has kind of hit the damage power spike already in this game. You're building more tanky from this point, so you're just getting health. It's not like your damage is going to keep scaling to kind of one-shot people like Kryra, Call Me.
And you've already been one-shot, so you're not going to let it happen again.
You cannot let it happen
You're not
again.
going to stand in front of him with 50% HP.
Yeah, let's please not do that. As Kryra goes for the flag and drag, Cataclysm onto Palafox. Ignar's holding the line as Kryra has to flash away, and in goes Photon, but he's targeted down. The Shen in the Spirit's Refuge does not live long enough. DSG take down the raid boss, and that's all the gold lead for Dignitas out of the fight.
Man, Kryra is I'm really impressed with Kryra as a North American talent here. The way he plays this fight, he goes in, he forces on Orianna until the point Orianna shockwaves. Orion tries to shockwave him solo, and he flashes it, then out of his own Cataclysm. So he both puts the pressure on the low mobility carry, gets the big, cooldown for the team fight out. Even though he has to invest his flash to do it, avoiding the shockwave there, they're able to make then the collapse play and just turn around onto Photon, onto the Shen that's coming through, and they've got the Lulu survivability there for him. They just buff him up, and Kryra survives the play, doesn't have to give up the Guardian Angel charge.
Yeah.
Now, yes, the flash is a long cooldown, but the Dragon Soul would be permanent, so you definitely worth there.
You'll take those.
Deny the Dragon Soul.
Dignitas still have some time, though, because it was denied, but it's not like DSG are even on soul point. They still have to get 2 in a row from this position. So if you're DSG, I almost feel like the win con is more going to be so like a team fight win at Baron and then push for something big afterwards.
Well, yeah, but the denial of a soul is, like, that's part of your win con also.
Sure,
like,
yeah.
right?
I guess you can make the argument both ways.
You're like, it is definitely necessary, because that's an annoying one to deal with. The damage reduction when you're low, super annoying for Akali too, so. Obviously, that is one step on their pathway, back towards victory here. Another step is...
Call me spotted by Palafox. The Shockwave used very early as a Sand United as well. X-Use here. Stasis for Call Me, but he's not able to get out of there this time. DSG's mid laner is out of there, as now the fight will have to come through from Sajet. He's walking forward to get damage on Ignor, who's locked down, and now he's free firing onto the front line. Sajet unleashed as DSG continue the push. 4v5. Who needs the mid laner when you got the late game Yanara? A double kill to Sajet, and DSG win the fight.
Yeah, they forgot about the other carry, the sustained damage carry. The Yunara comes through with the Lulu buffing him up. This is a really good, call from Dignitas, though. Palafox is like, he's going to look for the flank. Really, really smart play from Palafox and Dignitas. The genius midfielder finds their opponent, but Kangas, Sajet is hitting the whole time, and guess what? That was Nautilus ult right there.
Yeah.
Nautilus was getting, focused so heavily that he had to blow his ult real early. Sajet is fully stacked up, and he can chase through because Dignitas used a lot to deal with the Akali threat, and now they just get to force through. With Guardian Angel, Kryra knows, you know what? I can just go extend the play. I can make sure we keep the rest of them here for you to hit. I will go Cataclysm. You continue to chase Sajet.
And also, even before the Cataclysm, Kryra zoned FBI. FBI could not get any damage in the fight except for onto the J4. And look at that damage, 12K in one fight from the rookie.
It is literally dream fights for Yunara when everyone is grouped up so closely like that, because your splash, you get the splash going back off of the Runon Bolt's procs, and when everyone's close like that, absolutely melts, as you saw on screen.
Plus, you're healing up. You got all the shields from the Lulu, the Ardent Sensor buffing your attacks as well. Like, yeah, I think we've kind of reached the transition point. Call Me is still a threat, but the main character, the main threat at this point is Yunara. We highlighted this in the draft. They have options. DSG can go for the front to back, or they can go for the dives. And even if Call Me goes down, DSG have proven that if they plant their feet, they can stand their ground.
Guardian Angel timers are also pretty big for them, and Sajet still has his.
Yep.
So while they did work around Kryra's, and it was a good investment to Cataclysm, sacrifice the Guardian Angel, get the extra kills, obviously. Now, of course, they don't have it for the time being, but they've got Baron buff, so it's a pretty safe siege for them in the meantime.
Yeah.
And they can even have Akali go answer the Shen push. So Call Me has his teleport ready. Everything's pretty safe for DSG. Just play around, you're buffing up your minions, and eventually getting the mid lane tower as well in their favor.
It felt like Dignitas were coming back in this game, and maybe that could mount to come back in the series, but from this position, 5K gold lead overall for DSG, and it's pretty much Sajet matching Photon, so then mid lane and jungle and support are kind of the other equalizers to get that lead, rather, for DSG.
I mean, you kind of touched on it, Kangas, but Shen, even though Photon has been great and made a lot of big plays, you can't really carry a game later.
Your damage is capped at a certain point.
You could do a lot of work to get your team up and kind of carry early, but in the late game scenarios here, I mean, we're literally looking at a 7-item Yunara with the new AD carry role quests. So
And now we're looking at the base falling apart. I mean, that inhibitor turret's down, an inhibitor as well. Even with open inhibs on DSG's side, Dignitas, they're going to have to fight tooth and nail to even touch those for the rest of this game. They are well behind, and the next Dragon's up in 20 seconds. DSG have an easy path back to drop their vision line in the jungle, control the access points, and get themselves to Soul Point.
So...
We're at the point. Oh, okay, actually. I was going to ask a hypothetical, but now we might see Kryra go for an engage onto Ignar. Calmy's going to catch his mid-wave.
It's so scary for them.
If DSG win a team fight, they could end the game through bot lane. Supers are going to be pushing in there, so they don't have to go for the Dragon Soul. They can just take the 5v5. Surdy's getting chunked down by FBI. Good Mystic shots there. Surdy low. The Shockwave will land on a Calmy, but Surdy will go for his own engage. Now, Keeper's Verdict channeled here by XU will throw it out, and it lands onto Lulu, so support's out of there, but Dignitas can't get in. They have depth charge from Ignar, but Sajed's just not getting in the angle, and now Lions is going to regroup up with the rest of DSG. They can assert the front line again. Surdy's going to go in with Calmy, damage onto Ignar, as XU's looking for his own flank here. Kryra's going to miss it, but XU's just getting chunked down. The Stand United's not enough. Sajed on a killing spree. Double kill to the AD carry. DSG again. Step up when the team fight matters. Photon fails to flash over the wall. A triple to Sajed as Lions will flash the True Shot Barrage. TP from Surdy. This could be the game end push. It's just FBI and Palafox left to try and clear the waves. But 4 members stand on DSG. Sajed full health. This is how the series ends. DSG keep their playoff dreams alive as they look to 2-0 Dignitas, denying them the playoffs run. Sajed, the rookie, dominates as a 2-0 is claimed by DSG.
And welcome, Surdy. He is undefeated in the LCS